Hey, seventh graders. Today we're going to talk about percent proportion. So we talked about proportions during remote. I know that was a long time ago, but hopefully the word sounds familiar. But now we're going to do percent proportions. And so here's the proportion that we're going to deal with. Part over whole. Okay, so kind of like a fraction, your part is on top and your whole is on the bottom. Equals, and then percent over 100. Okay, and you see this arrow here, and I have some keywords that I'm going to put in here in place of part and whole that it's going to help us when we're reading the questions. So the key word for part is the word is. Okay, and the key word for whole is going to be of. So is over of equals percent over 100. And I know that probably doesn't make much sense to you right now, but as we go through these example problems, I think it will. Okay, so when we do these problems, we are going to be given 3 of these pieces of information, and we have to figure out the 4th one, the missing one. So one of these is going to be missing, and that's what we're going to find out. When we're doing these problems, remember that we are going to set up our proportion, we're going to have our answer, and if we need a label, we're going to label it. So we need those 3 things. Make sure we're doing all 3 so we can get credit for this assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and put is right here, is over of. Okay, so the question 1, what percent of 29 is 3? Okay, so first thing I always do as I set up my proportion, I put my fraction line, an equal sign, and a fraction line, and 100 is always going to go in that spot. Okay, so now I'm going to look up here at my protocol example up here. So any number with a percent is going to go over 100. I don't see a number with a percent sign after it. Actually, I see what percent. We don't know what percent. That's what we're trying to find. That's our missing information. Okay, so I'm going to put an X there. Well, that was a weird X. I'm going to redo it so it looks nice. Okay, X. There we go. So now let's look at the rest of the question. Of 29. Remember, our keyword of is on the bottom left. Of is our keyword for the whole. So the whole in this problem is 29. So I'm going to put 29 down here. And then is 3. Remember, is my keyword for the part. So the part that I'm looking for is 3. So I want to know what percent is equal to 3 over 29, or 3 out of 29. So now what we do is we're just going to cross multiply and divide. I'm going to grab my calculator here. So I'm going to cross multiply 3 times 100, and I get 300, right? And then I'm going to divide by 29. So 300 divided by 29, gives me a really long number. It's like 10.3448275.862. Hoofda. So if we get answers like that, we're going to round to the nearest hundredth. So it would be 10.34. So we're just going to round 2 places past the decimal point. All right. And we don't need a we do. What percent? So this would be 10.34%. So the only time we really need a label is when we're finding our percent. Okay? All right. So number 2, what percent? I don't know. There's no numbers with the percent sign, so I'm going to put my X there. Of 55. So remember, of 55 is 34. So remember, of is our keyword for whole, so I'm going to put it on the bottom. And is my keyword for part, so I'm going to put 34 on the top. How do I solve this? I cross multiply, divide. Remember, when you cross multiply, you're multiplying the 2 numbers that you have. If I went the other way and did 55 times X, I don't know what X is, so I wouldn't get an answer. So you have to cross multiply with the 2 numbers that you have. So 34 times 100 is 3,400. And I'm going to divide it by 55. I get another kind of long answer there. So 61, X equals 61 61.82 if I'm rounding correctly. So 61.82%. So if you had a test and there were 55 problems on it and you got 34 correct, you would get 61.82%. That is what that is telling you. All right. Okay, so I want you to stop the video right now and I want you to try to answer number 3. Set up your proportion, find your answer, and label. Okay, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and set this up. So I know my 100's right here. What percent? I don't know what percent, so I'm going to put an X there. Of 33.5 is 21, so 21 goes on top. 33.5 goes on the bottom. I'm going to take 21 times 100, and I get 2,100, and I'm going to divide by 33.5, and I get X equals 62.69%. Don't forget your percent sign. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next group. I'm going to put is over of up here, is over of, just to remind myself. Okay, so now look at, and these I have percent signs, right? So I'm just going to, I always just put 100 here. I like to put that there first because I know where that goes. So now I have 41%. So 41 has a percent sign, so that goes over 100. Remember, if you look up here, anything with the percent sign goes over 100. And then I have of 678. So of is my whole. It's going to go on the bottom. And then is what number? I don't know what that is. That's what I'm trying to find. So I'm going to put my X there this time. So now when I try to solve for X, I'm going to cross multiply. And I'm going to do 78 times 41. And then I'm going to divide by 100. And I get X equals 31.98. Ooh, there we go. Okay, I want you to try number 5. Okay, stop the video if you're not done yet and finish it. Okay, so 128% of 63, so 63 goes on the bottom. Is what number? I don't know. Put an X. So 63 times 28 is 1,764. So make sure you multiply those two things. And I'm going to divide by 100, and I get X equals 17.64. Since these are not percents, I'm not going to put a label on them. Okay, so I'm going to have you continue. I do want to go over just maybe one more. Let's do number 9. Let's do number 9. And we're going to set up our proportion. Put my 100 right here. So 4%. Oh, we did that one, didn't we? Okay, we'll do this one again. Put my 4 above 100 of 73 is what number? I don't know. So I'm going to take 73 times 4 and divide that by 100. And I get X equals 2.92. Whew, that's not very much, right? 4%. Hopefully you don't get that ever on a test. 4%, that would be bad, right? Okay, so your job for the rest of the day today is to finish this worksheet. When you are done, you can work on another class, or if you have missing math, get those math things in so that we can all have our fun day on next Thursday. All right, awesome. I will be back on Monday. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.